Thank you all for joining us on our Healers Talk Tuesdays. My name is Anuschka Alborzian. I'm an empowerment health coach and energy healer. Today, we're going to be talking about something that I really wanted to share, and I felt like this would be a great topic to bring up with Jacob, and he'll introduce himself as well. Just to let you know, the topic is what actually is energy healing? What is energy work? I get asked that all the time. So I just thought, hey, let's actually have a conversation around this so people get more clarity around it and also see, is it for you? Because I bet you once you learn more about it, you're going to realize that you could benefit from one of the modalities. So, Jacob, please introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you very much, Jacob Moya. I'm also I'm not a coach though, but everything else I am. You know, I'm a healer. I am a therapist. I am also a researcher. I always looking for new things that help me to understand and to harmonize better the two different things that we have: the physical body and the energetic body. You know, now that this is the topic, we can be more clear about it. What is one, what is the other, and how those different modalities of therapy work inside of us, right?
Yeah. Awesome.
So, well, if I take the question as you just ask it, what is energy healing? Okay, the way that I explain it is the following way. We have our natural physical experience, and this is a body. In my case, is a 6'2" male, Hispanic, whatever. You know, it's a 50-year-old man, right? This body was entrusted to me to live an experience here in life, right? The experience can be any. You know, everybody have their own experiences. These are things that we choose to have, and it helps us to learn. And you have to go quantum, or you have to go woo-woo in order for us to go to these other places where we choose the lessons and family and all those different things. But then coming with it, there's another side of us, which is the energetic side of us, you know, and for me, the energetic and emotional are together, because what you do to one affects the other. Some modalities split it. Some make it. This is the energetic self, and this is the emotional self, because emotions are also created by your physical rational brain. So that's why they put it everything into different places. The way that I understood it and the way that was explained to me is it's I think it's easier for the people to grasp and to understand. You know, your energetic, emotional self, and then we have a third one, which is your spiritual self. Now, in previous talks, we mentioned a lot about the spiritual world and the magic of number three, and how, you know, we're the third planet from the sun. How we have three major seasons. Although we have four seasons, it's pretty much something in between hot and cold, right? So it's like in between and then hot and cold. So it's also the three different changes. And the number three keeps coming on and on through life. You know, you have a father and son and a mother, you know, so in order for you to create life, the triangle, and you can go on and on with this thing. So now, the energetic, emotional, and the spiritual are the ones that you don't feel, that you don't sense, that you don't have the experience of touching physically, right? And then you have this other one that is your physical self. But your physical self can only live everything that wants to live within his lifetime, whatever it's gonna be, you know. It can be, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 100 years old, you know, who knows? But it's still is limited to that constraint of time. The other ones don't. The other ones, your energetic self, it can be carried on in another lifetime, and you can keep working on the lessons, you know, and so on and so forth. And this is what makes everything interesting. because then we go into the typical question of what was first, the chicken of the egg.
Mm-hmm.
Here, the way that I am explaining it, you understand was first the energetic, the emotional, and the spiritual, and then the physical, right? But the situation is that most of the things that are created in our life, in our reality, what is shaping the way that we think, feel, believe, eat, everything is our environment that is being processed through our brain, our logical physical brain. Now, when we have a logical physical brain that is creating a life around you, let's put it this way, on a negative form, it's like you are complaining all the time, you are getting hurt all the time, you don't like the things that you get, so on and so forth. And you have another person that is living a similar life, can even be twins, but it's totally the opposite. Is a person that is positive, that sees the glass half full, it's always looking for the positive lessons in everything that they experience. Well, what happens then is that even though they both are experiencing exactly the same things, they are processing the things different inside of them. So now the next question is, what makes one process the things in a negative way, and what makes one process the things in a positive way? And in my particular case, my belief, my understanding, based on the research that I have done through therapy with my clients, is that got something to do with your energetic side of life, with the things that you've been experiencing through life, and how fun you are with them, how willing you are to let them go and to be, instead of being a drag, you can be something that flows, and basically that's what I teach people, to flow. Because the theory tells us that if you raise your vibration, then your physical needs to match your reality in order for you to be a whole.
Aligned, yeah.
And that's where what we try to do when we work at an energetic level with someone. It's just changing the vibration of the organ, the body, the feelings, the emotions, that whatever it is, to a level where the physical have no other choice than to raise itself to match that vibration and continue life in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And something that I've been really, because this is another, so similar, and I'm going to add on to it, because one thing that I've really gotten clear on, and what resonates with me, which I also want to share, is it's all connected, right? Like mind, body, spirit, the three, another three, right? And our thoughts, which come from that physical brain, which we've talked about, and I believe it was last week where we talked about that physical brain, the physical experience. That's something, it's like past experience and memories and all that thing that's going to exist. Like that just is part of the mind and whatnot. And those thoughts are what create the emotions within us that we feel, right? So when we feel those emotions and have a particular passionate feeling, for instance, or any kind of feeling, well, that feeling is what is going to amplify the energy, which then is
and transform your reality. It transform your reality. Totally. And it's crazy, because we're not talking here about the bad thing. It can be also a good thing.
Oh, absolutely.
But also it's going to transform your reality. I mean, if you just manifest a job, a relationship, health, or anything that you're working on, it's going to change the way that you see life and the things that you believe in, based on that reference. Because now your logical physical brain have a reference of possibilities, of this is something that also can work for you, not only for other people, but for you as well.
Yeah, and like when you say that, something else that just came to me was, yeah, so it's like you can have a horrible experience and you can either be victim to it and say, oh, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why life sucks, all that. Or you can say, oh, life is happening for me. And
Exactly.
this was for the highest good, right? So there's two different paths one can take, and it starts with the mind. That's why for me, I'm all about the mind, body, spirit, because the mind, that thought is what's going to begin however path it is that you end up taking, right? So that's why we wanted to actually talk about this, and then also share that there are so many different energy healing modalities out there. And that's some of, like, we wanted to talk about some of them that we particularly either use or are familiar with, right? So unless you wanted to add anything else to that.
Yeah, the thing here is that permission needs to come from your rational brain, right? You need to give yourself permission, and that's why we always talk about the intention. You know, you need to have the intention, because that intention is the permission, and it's the permission that you give to yourself to do something, to manifest something, to become healthier, wealthier, happier, find love, whatever it is. Because your rational brain is based on your past, you know, on the things that you already experienced to this point. And your subconscious mind, it's all about keeping you alive. But it's, remember that it's kind of like a monkey mind. I mean, it's not rational, don't understand the things. Your subconscious mind don't understand the things like uh, uh, in detail. You know, it's more like you know, it's when you study a little bit of biodecodification, you know, it's about, like, for example, if your mother was going through mourning because her father died, or a best friend died, or someone died while she was feeding you, you are receiving in the breast milk all those emotions as well. And now you have an association that that food equals death, right? Or equals feeling of sadness. And then you have people that are bulimic, or that they try to avoid food at any cost, you know. So it's kind of like that, you know, because everything started with your experience. Now, when you understand that, you also understand that you always gonna have a blockage when it comes to living something different or living something new, you know, because of that, because you haven't experienced it. So
Right.
by definition, if it's new, it's a new experience for you, you're gonna have a resistance. So that's why it's very important to have the permission, which is, yeah, this is something that I want to experience, and then take it from there.
Absolutely.
You know?
And then I know one other thing that we all, you know, that I've learned even from you and like we talk about is our physical brain is the dominant one. It just is, because
Yes.
that's, so you
Yes.
could do all the energy work, all the body work, but if the actual physical brain is not in alignment,
Yes.
then it's just not going to happen.
It's
So
not
that
gonna work.
it's
Not gonna
not.
work.
And
Yeah.
so you got to be in alignment with all, again, all three,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And like another thing is a lot of times because of those past experiences, we're going to have thoughts. And I always say, like, we are not our thoughts. We're not.
Yeah.
Those thoughts are,
Yeah.
unless you're conscious of it, aware of it, those thoughts can run you and control you. But if you're aware of it, then you can actually start to make those shifts happen. And because everything is energy, everything, right? That includes us as well. So we can then do healing, energy healing work.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love it. At the end, if we have time, I'm gonna give you guys an exercise that is gonna help you to start opening up your mind towards the bad experiences, but in a different way. You know,
Nice.
so like Anuschka said, allowing life happen for you instead of against you.
Absolutely. You got to be open to it for sure. So, one of the ones that I've learned from you, healing modality wise, is the emotion code. So that's something that I really, and I learned to use it based on just you know, you doing it for me. And then now just based on just channeling and information I've gotten, I've also evolved it and I've created my own version of it. And I'm noticing what difference it's been making and the impact it's making with the clients. And what it looks like is just emotions that we hold onto in different organs within our body that are trapped, right? And they're not always ready to be released is the thing. So you got to see if it's ready to be released. And that's some of the work that I know you're way more masterful at. So I'd love for you to speak a little bit more to that.
Well, the thing is that inside of our body, we have a composition of minerals. We have a composition, you know, in our bones. We have crystals. We have all sort of different mechanisms inside of the body, right? But for example, if you use cheese, and I have one, but I don't have it with me. I have it on my car. It's like a quartz, you know, a crystal. They hold energy. You know, and you can check very easily with a pendulum when they are holding energy or when they are releasing energy and they're neutral, because it really changes, shifts. Now, if you see most watches, like before the iWatch or whatever it's called, the Apple Watch, they say quartz on it, right? And what it means is that they have a little tiny piece of quartz inside that they record with power and information that allows the watch to work properly. I mean, that obvious it is, you know, they hold that. But now inside of us, we have the same thing. We have crystals, right? And the thing here is that when you are having a dense emotion, and dense emotions usually get stuck in the lower side of our body. That's why you have like a funky feeling on your stomach when you have anxiety or when you have things of that sort. And then the emotions get stuck into those areas, you know, in the areas that are weaker. Now, why you have a weaker area inside of your body? Well, it can be many, many reasons. You know, one of the theories from one doctor that I'm following is like, you have a thyroid issue, or you have toxins in your body, or you have dental infections, or you have scars in your body, you know, and of course emotions. But the emotions are the ones that gotta feel the void of energy inside that you have and get stuck in your bones because of that, you know, because of the crystals that we're carrying. So now, remember that also we have a very powerful brain. So in your powerful brain, if you are living, let's say that you are going through a breakup, it's something painful or a loss, you know, it's something that is very painful and you're experiencing, and your subconscious mind work is to keep you alive. And it's understanding that you need to move or stock this somewhere. If you cannot move it out of the body, it needs to find a way to place it so you don't feel it anymore, or at least you don't feel it with that intensity, right? Why? Because it wants to keep you alive. So now, because of our lifestyle now, all our shoes have rubber soles. And it's synthetic rubber, it's not natural rubber. So what happens is that everything bounces out of it. Your body's trying to do its work and it's sending it out through the rest of the body into the ground. And guess what? Reach your soles and boom, it comes back. Or if you are barefoot, but you are in carpet and synthetic carpet at home, it's the same situation. You know, the earth is not receiving the emotion, and then it bounces back into your body. So when it bounces back, your energetic self and your subconscious mind are working, trying to figure out where to place it. So if you have a weak, I don't know, bladder because of dental infection, that dental infection is creating a problem in the energetic circuit that's not allowing the rest of the energy to go there, guess what your body's gonna do? Oh, we have a space there, you know, and it's gonna place it there. Now, there's plenty of studies. I don't know them all. I just read like a couple papers.
Oh,
but hang on.
just lost you.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, I'm back. It was a phone call that come in.
No.
And so the thing is that it goes to the bladder, right? But then your bladder natural resonance, it's certain frequency. Your liver natural frequency, it's very particular. The resonance is very particular frequency. And every single organ in your body, every limb, every muscle, every bone have a different frequency. And that's actually how usually acupuncture works. You know, it's like by putting the needle, they're activating a vibrational reaction in your body that forces the blockage to open up. So we do it here at the center that I work. Instead of needles, we use magnets, and it's exactly the same principle. You know, pulling energy from the place that you have a lot of energy, putting it back in the place that you don't have enough. You know, and it's always positive and negative. So that's how it is.
Yeah, because that's like another one, right? Like magnetic therapy or electromagnetic therapy, right? So that would be
right.
Something.
Right. So but the thing is that you send an emotion to the gallbladder because, or to the bladder, because that was where you have a space. But guess what? They don't have the same resonance, you know, because the frequency of that emotion and the frequency of this one is not. So what it's gonna do with it? If the right organ that can accept that energy cannot accept it because it's full of energy, then that thing is going to become a tumor, is going to become a scar, is going to become some sort of reaction in the bladder, because the bladder is not accepting the energy. It's pushing it out, and it's starting to encapsulate it, and it's going to create a symptom, you know. And that's the idea of the symptom, is that you have something there to take care of. You know, it's your body letting you know, hey, psst, pay attention, we have this thing, let's take care of it.
Yeah.
You know?
And let's take care of the root of it, which is the emotional root and subconscious, like whether it's a subconscious belief or whatever it is that's trapped there. And that's the key, right? Getting to that root and not just band-aiding it with, you know, different drugs and things like that, because then you'll have a reaction. So that's something to talk about.
Exactly. Well, the difference is numbing, because it's like if you have some sort of pain and your body's allowing you or letting you know that you have something to work on it, that is stuck right there, and you just take a pill so you don't feel it, you know, you are masking it, and then your subconscious mind is learning, oh, it's not time for us to heal it, you know, so it's gonna avoid bringing it back until it becomes to a point that you either you take care of it, or it's gonna be you know, it's gonna cost your life, right? So
like this. Yeah. I mean, I did that, so that's why for me, I mean, I definitely was like, okay, let me take ibuprofen, all the things when I was getting the headaches, and I just was ignoring it, and until I really was forced to. Like, there was nothing. I mean, it was either that or thank God I went to.
But that's how it is. But now it can be anywhere, you know. It can be something on the toe, you know. It's like that. I mean, that's how the body works. So now when we have these other modalities, it's these are things that people have been discovering. I mean, the emotional core is fairly new. I don't know how many years, probably 10, 12 years or so. It's there are fairly new modalities, but they discover that you can force that energy, that emotion with your intention, because remember, without the intention, nothing is gonna happen, right? So having an intention to release it, your body is going to allow it to suck it from wherever in your body is through the main meridians. And we have a main meridian in the front and another main meridian in the back. And from there is where we send the energy to the rest of the body. So the idea is that if you pull that with a magnet, it will suck whatever it is that you want to release. And that's why for the emotional code system, they ask you to identify the emotion. the particular emotion. So
Yeah.
for example, if you are feeling, I don't know, sadness, it's you have to mention it so the body can say, oh, I'm gonna release sadness now, right? So you process everything. That's the permission that is coming from your rational brain, and the intention is to release it. And then also the intention of the therapist is to take it out with a magnet,
Right.
to suck it, to attract it.
Seeing the underlying, and what happened there? Okay, just all of a sudden Instagram pause. But yeah, and then it's the sadness, but like, what's the underlying emotion that's actually trapped? Because that's the energy that remains in that part of the body or in your spirit,
exactly.
right? So that's like what I love about the emotion code. And I mean, like I said, I things come up where I'm even like, huh. And the clients get shocked. Like most recently, there was trapped emotions in my client's bladder, and she's never talked about her bladder before. So I was like, huh, bladder. And she's like, you know what? I've never talked about this, but I've had this problem since I was a kid and all this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, it was just, I get mind blown myself, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't make this stuff up.
and look how it is, out of all the organs in the body, I pick a bladder right now to give an example. What are the chances?
I know, right? The chances.
What are the chances?
No coincidence.
Yeah, it's. I mean, this life works like that at an energetic level.
Yes.
At a logical level, makes no sense.
No sense. No. That's why people that
no sense whatsoever.
Be all analytical. I'm like, it's just that's intuition too. It's like, it's logical. Not to get off subject, but I mean, it really is being open to just life not being a coincidence and looking at all the synchronicities, right? So some of the other ones I'd love to share too is like, I know sound baths, for instance, are really great. And that could include anything from the different singing bowls, Tibetan bowls, didgeridoos, like
tuning forks that you can even have some frequencies through your ear. But it's the same principle. Is checking the vibration of a particular area of your body. It can be a chakra, it can be an organ, and then tune it to the right frequency, to the ups and downs.
Amp coil, and that's what the whole amp coil, right? Like I
oh yeah. It's rife. Yeah.
I was like, I set it to the one for my brain, and like I remember I would just put it under my pillow every night, and I was just sleeping with that frequency, just going right. I think it was just I think it was just the third eye chakra is what I ended up doing.
So that's the thing. That's tuning. It's the best example is just use two different tuning forks, and you just one. The other one will be match.
Oh, you're cutting out. Shoot. Hold on. Okay, it looks like Jacob froze. But I'm gonna until he